next one, I cannot believe people buy water bottles. It's not good for the environment and it just makes no sense to me.
Hello everyone! Today we're going to be diving into some additional finance TikToks. So today we're going to be discussing a couple of videos from a few creators here and giving our honest opinions on them and figure out what they have to say about great money saving tactics that you can use today to not just put more money in your pocket, but put more money into your future. So let's dive right into some videos and see what the buzz is all about. So this very first video is from Higher Up Wellness.
Everybody says to be confident, but nobody tells you how to do it. Because confidence without evidence is delusion. You do not have things to lean on, proof to lean on, then you will ultimately fail in the face of adversity or challenges. You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. And you do that in a couple of different ways. Number one, you keep the promises you make to yourself. I don't care.
So he's completely right in this regard. So confidence is not something that's sometimes learned overnight. Confidence is built by a series of events that you have in your life, and also based on the knowledge and the experience that you have in your life. So confidence doesn't just come from, thin air, as many people want to think it does. It actually comes from you knowing what you're talking about, knowing that, when you speak to people, they're going to listen to you and respect you because you know that if they ask you a question, you're going to be able to confidently answer that question. So effectively, knowledge is the key to confidence. And of course, just be able to, convey that knowledge in a very clear and precise manner. Now, let's look at the first thing he actually said. He said, confidence is also keeping promises to yourself. So one of the things that sometimes even I struggle with is being able to actually, meet something that I tell myself to do. So a very common thing that probably most of us out there probably talk about is like, I'm definitely going to be hitting the gym this year. So that's a promise that you made. And then after like maybe your first couple of months, you might do it, but then it falls off. Then you're like, I'll go next week. And I'll, and then you just keep the kind of the rhythm going. Now, maybe for a gym membership, that might not seem too bad. But the thing that probably we tell ourselves, or the promises we tell ourselves, sometimes are financial in nature too. Sometimes we'll say, I'll start saving $100 this week, starting this week. The week comes up, you decide not to save the $100. You're like, this new Gucci bag or this new pants that just came out, I really want to buy that instead. You got to stop doing that. When you break a promise to yourself, you're not really hurting anyone else. You're just hurting yourself. And that's something that you need to understand overall, that once you make a promise to yourself, try to keep it to the best of your ability.
Care how small or how big they are. If you say you're going to make your bed every day, make your damn bed. If you say you're going to wake up at 6 a.m. and go to the gym, wake up and go. And every time you say these things to yourself and you don't do them, you are putting a small slash in your self-confidence. But every time you reinforce these behaviors by keeping the promises you make to yourself, you can stack that confidence and that proof and that evidence. Nobody can tell me I'm...
So he's completely right in this regard. As you have accomplishments for yourself, your own confidence starts to build. So essentially, as you, for example, start hitting the gym, as you start saving your money just like you wanted to, all of these little things may seem small and trivial at the moment. But as they start building up, for example, as you start hitting the gym and you start seeing the results, you lose weight, you have more muscles or whatever you're going for as your gym goal. When you start seeing your account start building more funds in there, you start actually seeing an emergency fund in there. That's something to be very proud of. That's something that not a lot of people sometimes even have. So these are the types of things that give you confidence, that give you the ability to actually have a sound mental, fortitude that you want to have in your life, that you want to continue to convey to others, so you can continue to progress and continue to snowball your success.
I'm not a runner. Nobody can tell me I'm not a coach. I'm not a content creator. I have evidence to lean on that supports my identity, and in times of adversity, I pull from that confidence. Everybody says to be confident, but no.
So this last piece that he mentioned is sometimes people may feel that, you don't have the knowledge to actually convey it to them properly because they look at your credentials. What have you accomplished? What have you done in your life? So sometimes just being a content creator may not seem like it's enough, but sometimes you can point to clear accomplishments that you've done, whether it's buying a house, for example, whether it's having a job or in a certain industry, for example. All of these aspects are important to understand when you're thinking about what are the things that make you confident is one, and then why should someone listen to you? These are the two aspects of confidence that are key for you to advance, not just in your career, but advance in life as well. So let's move on to our next video. So in our next video, we have our content creator called Batty.Brad. So let's see what he has to talk about in terms of being frugal when you buy food.
So these are some of the best tips that I keep in mind every time I go food shopping to pass along to you and for you to stop being an idiot. This one makes me want to rip my hair out. Please, for the love of God, do not buy anything pre-cut. The extra amount of money you are spending is outrageous. This stupid crap is $7, but if you just take a couple steps over to the actual pineapple, it costs less than $3. Brad, it's convenient. Wake up! Oh, I saw these little bananas and it reminded me of my ex-boyfriend. Ugh. Not a frugal hack, but if you support this and think this is okay to sell fruits and vegetables and plastics, you have a mental health issue.
So the first point that he mentioned, which is, the pre-cut things. So sometimes it's easy to kind of grab these things and go, but even though it may not seem like there's a cost in there, there is a cost in there. So essentially, just like he mentioned, the uncut fruit was around $2.69. However, if the fruit that's already been cut up is close to $7. That margin is essentially the labor that the supermarket had to go through or wherever they got it shipped from. That's essentially the labor cost that you're paying for. So why should you pay almost $4 or $5 more for a product when, just like he mentioned, you yourself could just cut it? That doesn't make sense to me. So I agree with him in that regard.
Stupid. Okay, moving along. Please, for the love of God, just start buying store brand things. Why are you going to spend $3 more to buy the name brand peanut butter? Stupid. But I like how the name brand tastes. Well, you don't have money right now, so shut up. So this name brand box of cereals, $7.50, but you could get an ounce more, the store brand, and spend almost $3 less. Come on. Yes, see, I'm judging you. The thing is, you may just say, well, Bradley, what does it matter? It's only saving me $1 or $2 here or there. You have to remember every dollar matters, and imagine a whole shopping cart of name brand foods. It's going to add up quick. Possibly unpopular opinion, but I would...
Yes. So this is a very key point that he brought up. So name brand foods usually end up costing a lot more in your pocket. So if you buy like a Honey Nut Cheerios, a box might, especially nowadays, cost like $7, $8 for a box. However, if you get like the Walgreens brand or if you get like the Trader Joe's brand, you probably will get those probably for $2 or $3. Sometimes $4, depending on where you're located. But overall, you are going to have cost savings. And just like he mentioned, each of these actually adds up. So if a box of cereal, instead of buying the $7 box, you get the $4 box, that's already $3. Then if you go for like the name brand toothpaste, like the Crest, instead of getting the store brand one, you could probably get the Crest one for like, let's say $7, $8 for a tube. But the store brand, which is like the Walgreens and things like that, will cost like $3. So overall, if you look at the price per price differential, you're going to notice that in the long run, and even in that one purchase, that one shopping cart you have, you're probably going to save between $50 to $100, depending, on how many things you buy. But on average, on every week, you're probably going to spend $50 to $100 less per week, which monthly is like $200 to $400 a month, which could cover, of course, a plethora of things. You could probably cover another cart of groceries with that. So definitely keep an eye out for this kinds of cost savings, and just look for things that are similar in taste to the name brand ones. So overall, just make sure you're watching out for that, for, the name brand creep or the lifestyle creep, which is what we want to say.
Never buy prepared foods like this. Always have to remember when someone else is doing something for you, it's going to cost you more. This whole thing of pasta being $5, I think, is so expensive. If you bought the ingredients yourself, it would come out to be cheaper in the end. The next piece of advice is don't really fall for things that are being sold.
So going back to what he just mentioned, that's correct. Any prepared foods, just like he talked about before, is going to have the labor costs. So yeah, just make sure to avoid those at all costs, especially if you have the time to just prepare the food yourself.
In smaller packages. Here's a great example. If you just spend $1.40 more, you're going to get almost 10 ounces more of this. Or this next example, why would you spend almost $5 for these 2 sad, pathetic little slices of cheesecake? Literally right next to it, there's a whole one for $3 more. Okay? Stupid! Even this example, I did the calculation of the cost of getting these bottles of Arizona as opposed to one large jug of it. You're paying about 2 cents more per ounce if you bought the bottles. So important when you're grocery shopping to not be lazy and stupid and do some calculations to really make sure you're getting the best deal. This I found interesting. These mini Reese cups, there's 10.5 ounces. They're selling for $6. Literally 2 shelves below it, there's Reese's 10.5 ounces selling for 30 cents less. Don't just be quick and lazy and grab the first thing you see. Like, do some calculations. All of the savings will add up. Bradley, I like the shape of the Reese cup. Shut up! I might get hate for this next.
So he's completely right. I actually do this when I go to the grocery store myself. So I'll actually, for example, look at a small can of tomato paste, and I'll say, okay, so that small can of tomato paste is 7 ounces for, let's say, $1. But they have the bigger can, let's say 20 ounces for like $2.10. So I'll actually do some mental math, or pull out a calculator and actually calculate the ounce per percent amount. So essentially it'll be like, let's say 7 cents per ounce or whatever you want to say. And I would actually go with the product that actually gives me the most dollar for the ounces. So overall, he's correct. You shouldn't just grab, for example, like the small one because you're like, hey, I just need the small one. There's a lot of ways to preserve the bigger ones, like the bigger cans, for example, of pasta sauce or things like that. You could freeze it. So it's not a good habit to just keep buying like for convenience. Buy for the long-term necessity. Like if you're someone who likes to have a lot of pasta throughout the week, then just buy the bigger one and then just store it properly, and you'll be saving tons of money just by doing this strategy.
Next one, I cannot believe people buy water bottles. It's not good for the environment and it just makes no sense to me. What I've done was I bought a water filter when I moved into my apartment 5 years ago. I still have the same one, and I replace the filters like 3 times a year. They don't really need to be replaced much, but you will save money in the long haul if you invest in a good water filter as opposed to keep buying water bottles again and again and again and again. Plus, fun fact, I heard most water bottles are not actually filtered water and you're just being lied to. This might be another unpopular opinion, but don't.
Yes, that's a great point he brought up, which essentially like filtered water versus bottled water or gallon water, whatever you use in your day-to-day. It's easy to actually just grab and go these, and it's everyone's guilty of sometimes of buying these from time to time, but he's completely right. Buying 3 filters, let's say for between $75 to $100 a year, will be a lot cheaper than you going out and buying bottles of water every month. Sometimes you'll probably be spending $30 to $50, depending on of course, the size of your family, just in bottles of water, which will equate to around $600 a year, compared to like $100 a year if you bought the filter, just like he mentioned. And overall, just like he said, like not every water bottle is, filtered. Some of these waters just sourced straight from the source and then bottled in and then sold to you guys. So overall, some really great stuff so far.
Don't be pushed by sales to feel like you need to actually go for it. Just because it's buy 2, get 1 free. Ask yourself, do I actually have the money to spend $20 on soda this week? Plus, you shouldn't be drinking that shit anyways. And a way to fill your tummy up in an inexpensive way is to load up on starches, rices, pastas, potatoes. They are typically affordable and they are filling. Like, look at this.
So he brought up 2 more great points. So the first thing is, this is a marketing tactic. Basically, they'll say like buy 1 get 2 free or buy 2 get 1 free. All of these are incentivized to actually buy more than what you originally needed. So maybe if you did want a little bit of soda, you might have bought 1 case. But then you see like, oh, if I buy 2, then I'll get the 3rd one free. So essentially, you're spending twice the amount you originally were planning to spend, and on top of that, you're drinking 3 times the soda in this case, just like in his example. So overall, you're hurting your wallet and you're hurting your health. So overall, not a great combination in either regard. In terms of the starchy foods, he's right. So rice, potatoes, pasta, these are 3 pretty inexpensive side dishes that you can use to actually maximize your dollar. So overall, if you have like rice, potato, or pasta dishes, you can then maximize the amount that's in your wallet by not having to buy as much meat, for example, or eggs products in this case, especially with eggs being so pricey right now. You want to minimize your eggs and proteins as much as possible. And the best way to do this is actually use these more starchy types of foods in order to actually extend the amount that you're going to be eating. So essentially, a 20-pound bag of rice, for example, could probably last you a whole month, even for a family of 3 or 4, depending on how you use it, and overall it's very filling and has a nutritional value, of course.
Yes, buy one, get one free. I'd be stacked on potatoes. And typically when you walk into a grocery store, you'll see that they have some coupons, may have a rewards program where you could get exclusive deals, or they may have like a point system where after you spend a certain amount of money, you could get money off your next bill. These are some frugal steps that you could take the next time that you go grocery shopping. Thank you for watching. I'm frugal and spend...
Yes, so going back to the last piece he mentioned is points. So usually many stores have points, whether it's usually Costco, whether it's, let's see, ShopRite. There's so many stores out there that have points. So on top of like the credit card points that you might get, you'll also get points from the store, which will lead to, you know, free things, especially like around the holidays. You can actually get like a free turkey, a free ham, things like that, as long as you spend a certain amount of dollars or have a certain amount of points. So overall, you know, maximize not just the amount that you spend every day, but also the amount of points that you generate. So overall, great content. And let's move on to the next content creator now.
Hello everyone, my name is Anthony and I'm the host of the Log Sanctuary. I hope you've been enjoying our content so far, and if you have, please feel free to like and subscribe. Also, we have our website up here, and we also have some socials down here, and as always, leave your comments down below.
So this next content creator is called Mark Tilbury. So let's see what he has to say about being a secret millionaire, I should say.
Millionaire? Why aren't we flying first class?
I'd rather take the train, it's cheaper and there's more room to spread out.
Okay, fine. But we're staying in a...
So the first thing he actually said was, instead of going first class and actually, you know, spending the money, that's one perception that we have of people who have money. We feel that because they have the money, they want to spend it. That's not how it works usually. Usually how difficult it is to make your first million. Sometimes you don't even make it in your lifetime. It takes a lot of grind, a lot of hard work to actually make it to that first million. And then the second you have it, that doesn't mean you want to go out and just spend it. So I agree with him. You know, sometimes it's okay to continue to be frugal when you become successful and have money in your pocket.
A luxury hotel, right? Private spa, personal chef.
No, I've just booked us a cosy cabin, plenty of room for everyone, and it's got a fireplace.
A cabin? All right, millionaire. Let's go eat at that Michelin star restaurant.
Nah, I'd rather stop at that little cafe on the slope and get a crepe.
A caf? Seriously?
Yeah.
Let me get this straight. You don't fly first class, stay in luxury hotels, or eat at fancy restaurants. You're not a millionaire.
Being rich isn't about showing off. It's about having the freedom to choose whatever makes you happy.
If you're really a...
So that's a very key point that I want to say. Being rich doesn't mean you have to flaunt being rich. That's something that sometimes is kind of perceived as being the best way to show that you're rich. But sometimes you don't have to show that you're rich to be rich. Sometimes the best way to actually maintain your wealth and maintain your the ability to actually retire is that it's better to actually be a secret millionaire, which is what he's doing. So essentially, you know, you could be seeing someone in the streets and not even know that they have probably a net worth of $1 to $10 million because of the way they dress, the car they drive, the way they travel. All of these indicators actually do not tell you what type of person these people are. So overall, just because someone may seem like they don't have a dollar to their name, they may actually be the next secret millionaire because they know the value of a dollar and they know that the best way to keep it is to minimize the amount of expenses that you have going out the door and maximize the amount that's coming in more than anything. So that has been episode 5 of Reacting to TikToks. So I hope everyone out there has a blessed day and adios.
Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing an amazing job, and I'm wishing everyone out there all the best. All right, until next time, adios.